Good evening. Today I'm going to discuss about an ecological term known as climax ecosystem. Climax ecosystem means producers, consumers, decomposers in an ecosystem remain constantly for a long time sustainable, in balance, or in equilibrium. In biblical words, we can call peace and harmony. As Prophet Isaiah envisions a world where uh, lamb and lion shall lay together. So it is a perfect balance in an ecosystem that is known as the climax ecosystem. In a world as crowded as the earth, with so many life forms sharing the same ecosystems, the planet's inhabitants are bound to get in one another's way. It is a challenge to make room for all the interest groups involved in keeping the ecosystem healthy. And organisms coexist. The soil, the plant, fungi, herbivore and carnivore populations continually adjust. Eventually, ecosystems may reach a state in which the abundance and dispersal of life are relatively stable. These relatively stable ecosystems, though life within them continues to grow and die, evolve and adjust, are called climax ecosystems. Climax ecosystems have a relatively large biodiversity and as much productivity as the soil and weather can support. Example of a climax ecosystem is a broad-leaved forest of Western Ghats in India, a mix of teak, neem and rain tree that if left undisturbed by man would probably remain a similar forest until the next ice age or until next global warming so changes the temperature and rainfall patterns that new species can dominate the old. Arctic tundra is another example. Because of its temperature extremes, tundra cannot support most plant life. That plant life will remain a low to the ground mix of grass, moss, small and hardy flowering plants, and lichen coexisting with animal life adapted to the harsh conditions. Over the past 10,000 to 15,000 years, a blink in evolutionary time, humans have begun to play an increasingly powerful role in the state of many of the world's climax ecosystems. The fates of many species now depend on our choices. It may seem at times that humans are the only species that really matters in the world. Why should we care about having large numbers of other species around? Both to humans and to the Earth's ecosystems, the value of biodiversity, so long in the making, depends exactly on its fantastic variety. Even though people are only one of 2 million known species, we consume 50% of the world's accessible fresh water and an estimated 20% of its plant growth annually. Because of human behaviors, more of those species are at risk of being lost now than at any time since the age of dinosaurs. Species are going extinct at quite an alarming rate, says conservation biologist Stuart Pym. Routinely, we have destroyed one natural resource after another. Pym notes that in the past century, species have been going extinct at a rate 100 to 1,000 times faster than would be expected considering the fossil record. Other periods of rapid extinction have occurred in Earth's history, but if a mass extinction is indeed underway, this would be the first caused by a single species, that is, humans. There are 24 climax ecosystems known as hotspots around the world. Hotspots used to constitute nearly 12% of Earth's land, but they have been logged and built on and degraded by human populations until they now constitute only 2.3% of Earth's land surface. The evolutionary biologist Edward O. Wilson notes that every climax ecosystem possesses three types of wealth: economic wealth, cultural wealth, and biological wealth. Economic wealth is a measure by which our societies are generally run. Cultural wealth is celebrated in many ways through art and clothing and marriage rituals, for example. Biological wealth, if recognized at all, is treated as an insignificant part of the background. It does not make any sense. Wilson argues to value only economic wealth, humans should recognize that our lives, as well as those of our descendants and the lives of other species, depend directly on stewardship, the biological wealth of the land. Some people believe that putting economic value on ecosystem misses the point, since our planet's life and landscapes can never be replaced and are therefore priceless. Instead of price tag, they argue the concept of stewardship should be our guide. Stewardship means taking care of Earth for future generations. Stewardship implies an understanding that each of us is only a temporary passenger on planet Earth, and that we have a responsibility to be mindful of the effects of our actions on future generations. Therefore, protecting climax ecosystems is the best investment for our future generations. Destroying these climax ecosystems can lead humanity to dangerous repercussions. Goodbye.